Well, what is this?
Welcome to the LadyGang.
That's amazing. Say that again.
The LadyGang.
Things are about to change around here.
Each week, we catch up with Hollywood's hottest girl posse, Keltie Knight, Beccatobin, and jacvanek.
Hello. Welcome to LadyGang. I am Beccatobin here with jacvanek and Keltie Knight.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Just paying those last minute lab bills for, I don't know. You guys, like, you know what? $12. Like, I understand Primex Clinical Laboratories. I owe you this $12 and I want you to get your money. But, like, I don't know that this is... Like, we should just round up or down based on 50s at this point.
Would like,
you know what I mean?
We would round up or down on things from now on.
I don't mind if you round up on me when my thing is like $82. You can just go the full hundy and then not send me a bill for $12.
Well, you know that my credit got royally f***ed up from a unpaid $50 medical bill for like 5 years.
Stop.
5 years. Yep.
That is so
Okay, literally
shitty.
writing the check. I was going to just rip it up.
Don't put it off because they'll come get you and then you won't be able to buy a house.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's better now, but like I had to contest it for, it was a whole thing for $50.
Wow. It's amazing. Some things in this country make so much sense and then other things just don't make any sense. There should just be one office you could discuss your case-by-case situation like that.
Yeah. Well, the two things that don't make sense are health insurance and taxes.
Yeah. There you go. I know. I owe taxes, and like the way that I do it is because it's like I'm a corporation. I have to kind of prepare everything at the end of the calendar year. And then in January, they're going to tell me an estimate of like what they think I'm going to owe. And then it's never right. And then I always owe more. So then I can't anticipate what I can spend my frivolous money on until halfway through next year. We hate taxes and we hate paying $12 and $82 bills. And it's time for...
Good week.
Yes, it is.
Bad week. Oh, no.
I'll kick us off, you guys.
Kick us off.
I heard something incredible on social media. Our mutual friend Emily, Keltie and I, posted something the other day that said, when somebody asks you a question or asks you to get involved in something that like you really just don't have any business or desire to be involved in, your answer is supposed to be, I'm not on that committee.
Oh.
Oh my.
I love this.
So it's like if Zach were to come to me and be like, hey, I need to pick out presents, Christmas presents for my nieces and nephews, I simply say, I'm so sorry. I wish I could help you, but I'm not on that committee.
Oh, it's so professional.
Isn't it?
It really is. It's like,
so you guys, ladies, let's get used to telling people this holiday season that we're not on that committee.
I'm not.
And you know what? If it's kind of confusing too. Like if you say it to the right person, they'll be like, it'll go over their head, or they'll like be doing that math meme of the lady with like all of the mathematics. That I feel like it could work in your favor.
It's true. It's true. So yes, you're welcome, everyone. And my bad week is so devastating. I was seeing all over, again, social media. Do I live anywhere else? No, just on the internet. I kept seeing these clips of people that were at this big, like, I think the Fontainebleau Hotel opened in Vegas recently, and a bunch of people went. And Justin Timberlake, who I keep zero tabs on, but I was
She's not on that committee.
I'm not on that committee. I was not on that committee.
No.
But I was wise enough to know that he's sort of hasn't been out performing in a while, you know, that I haven't seen, but clearly the Fontainebleau paid him millions of dollars to come and perform. And I am f***ing horrified to report to you, I found myself sexually attracted to Justin Timberlake.
Again? You're back?
I was never there. I was never there.
No, she's been the biggest JT hater.
I never, even ramen noodle hair era, I could not see the appeal. I never understood it. But he got me because he was dancing in a tux. And
It's the tuxedo.
It's the tuxedo. It was a white jacket.
Yeah.
And he also is a very wonderful dancer. And, you know, I have a weakness for male dancers. And so I was like, damn it.
You know what? I think that maybe the icks are like cyclical and only last a certain amount of time. Because
well, it's like Man of the Woods Justin was like so nasty.
Well, I got the ick when there was that like viral video of him doing
dad
like the
dancing.
hoedown. Yeah, that dance. And so my ick is strong still. So even all of those Fontainebleau videos in the tux, gambling, looking sexual, I'm like, does not work.
My ick is all the way back to the People magazine when Jessica was crunching drenched in the designer dress, and Justin's doing a harky. We've talked about this on the podcast before on the People magazine as the wedding photo. And I was like, why you got to outshine the bride? Just stand there like a groom and let her dress have the moment. Why are you crunched over, Jessica?
Maybe I need to look at those pictures so that I can you need fix myself.
But I will say, Justin at the Fontainebleau opening, it makes sense. And he went back to what works for him, which is his future sex love sounds, big band era in the text. That's what works for him. And that's the reason, honestly, that's the reason Robin Thicke is always in a suit. Because Robin Thicke in his joggers at his house in Malibu at the kid's birthday party, love the guy. Wonderful man. So sweet. Sweeter than you could even imagine. But it's not as sexy. But when he comes out in the suit and he's shimmering around in a shiny shoe, you're like, I get it.
Yeah, that's so true.
But by the way, I heard a rumor, allegedly, that many people were offered that before Justin Timberlake. He was not.
Really?
He was not the first offer.
I'm not surprised.
Like who? Can you give a?
No, I can't.
Cardi B. Cardi B, Rihanna,
literally everyone.
Everyone.
Wasn't there the big hoopla because he stayed at the Wynn? He didn't even stay there.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so dark. But
Must
the Wynn
be great.
is a great hotel. I just stayed there and it's beautiful.
Wow.
And downstairs you go and there's a juice place that does overnight oats. Where can you get an overnight oat in Vegas? Nowhere. Only at the Wynn.
That is very true.
Good to know.
I didn't pay for it. If I was paying for it myself, I'd be at Planet Hollywood or the Flamingo. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, we're aware. We know how you select hotels. We've been subjected to your hotel picking on tour where I don't even know if you'd call it a hotel. I don't know what those things were. Jack or Keltie, who would like to go next?
I'll go. So my good week is I got a lip flip, which we have talked about recently, where they do the little Botox in your two muscles above your lip. Mm-hmm. I have not been able to see the full results yet because it was a couple days ago, but I'm in the phase where it's starting to affect the movement of my lips.
Yes.
Because you're eventually you can't really do an O shape or suck on a straw or anything like that.
The straw is really challenging.
Or say certain words a certain way. So I'm starting to feel it take effect, and I'm really excited to see the results because I've been too scared to do it. But my little lips, filler doesn't work for them. So I'm really hoping for a nice lift.
This is the least scary of it all. It's just tiny little tiny Botox.
Is it going to affect my singing voice?
No.
Okay.
No.
Unless you have to do a ooh ooh.
Because my singing teacher makes me sing through a straw.
I would not get a lip flip if you're in intense singing classes.
Yeah,
okay.
Just leave it.
That you sing through a straw.
And I also can't even say most of the words I'm supposed to say on my job. So also I'm worried. But it looks good so far, Jack.
No, it definitely you become aware of your mouth a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it during a very important
Don't eat
time
a salad in public. That is also challenging because to get your lips around the fork to pull all the greens off of it is hard. And I felt a little bit like I'd had a stroke when I ate a salad last.
Or an ice cream, I feel might be a little bit challenging.
On with a spoon, no. But
okay.
Yeah, but it's fun. I love it. I welcome it because it means it's working.
She's on the committee.
I'm on the committee.
I'm on that committee for sure. My bad week is a good week, kind of turned into a bad week. So I was obviously on tour with Jared a little bit ago, and their fans started doing the friendship bracelets, the Taylor Swift bracelets, where they make the beaded ones. And I was I never really got it until I started going to his shows, and people made me specific bracelets for me, and it's so cute. And I just I think it's the sweetest little thing. They do it for their songs. I got elder emo ones, Jerry ones, and I just thought it was really cute. And I'm on that committee for sure. Mm-hmm. But my bad week is I feel the friendship bracelet now means that the jacvanek bracelet is not making a comeback.
Shit.
It can because you need layers.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Diversity of the wrist.
Yes. Diversity of the wrist.
Yes. Okay, that's true. Because I was it's a make your own jacvanek bracelet.
Yeah, it is make your own, but I think it could be good if the jacvanek bracelet was a little size smaller. Since everyone's wearing the tight friendship bracelets, it's not as loosey-goosey as it was in the era.
Yeah, I did make little ones back in the day.
You could make skinny ones too.
I just need to make some Taylor Swift ones and then just call it a day. And I feel like I could really...
But her fans would be upset with us because we're not purists.
That's true.
And they'd be like, Jacvanek is not a Swiftie. Don't buy her merch.
I gotta start being a Swiftie.
We could delete everything we've done this far in LadyGang and start over in the new year. Because I saw this great article on the Washington Post from this tech reporter, and she was like, I think the internet should delete after time. It should expire. It should expire like a library card or a credit card. Like, everything you do when you're 12 shouldn't exist on the internet when you're 55. And so she's like pushing for this thing of like all social media accounts, like everything should just like delete over time. Refresh. Anyway,
I love that.
I recently heard about kids going to digital detox like boarding schools because their lives have been ruined from social media.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's dark.
That's super dark, but I can totally see that happening.
It makes me so sad to think about it, but so be careful with your kids and social media is all I got to say.
Well, my good week is that I am on the Bujo committee and I have recently transferred my 2023 Bujo into the new 2024 Bujo. Now, I do want to make a big announcement, and if you're interested in what I'm using a St. Belford journal this year, if you're interested in just DM me. I know there's only 3 of you. But what's different for me this year is I'm using a pre-made journal because I got really messy last year. So this year, the journal, I'm showing it to the girl. I'm holding it up like I'm a teacher in school. So it has drawing board, which is like where I'll put my notes and stuff. And then it has a personal tracker. And then each day has like it already has like a habit tracker. And sorry, my camera sucks. But, and then the other thing that I did is that I went through, look at this planner belongs to Keltie. It's very beautiful. Oh. And I did a period. So what I did is I printed out. You remember how I was talking about how it's so expensive to print on the podcast?
Yes,
and
Grandma.
then everyone was like, laser printer, use your laser labels. So I started using my laser labels, but I realized laser labels are the perfect size to print out.
When we were in LA, Keltie announced to me, like she was telling me some deep dark secret. She goes, I think I'm getting a pre-planned Bujo this year.
Oh my God.
It was so wild. The tone of voice she was using. It was
it's like, don't tell anybody.
Yeah. She was like, oh, I'm just a mess. I'm just a mess.
Wait, have you seen the things? I'm sure you have, but like on TikTok, I got a few Bujo TikToks through my For You page.
Of course you did.
And there's like ones that have like all these little like, they're almost like gelatin stamps that you like take off and like put on. Do you use those?
I used stamps in my first few years, but to be honest with you, I don't feel like my hands have control on the stamp to make them level with the paper the way that a pen does. And so when you stamp a February or to-do list stamp and it's not, if you're trying to make it straight and that bitch is a little off, or the other thing that bothers me about stamps, and it could be Keltie, could be a Keltie issue, is that when you put it in and then you stamp something and you get a little corner of the stamp on the ink. So it's not, anyway, it just drives me crazy.
Aren't you glad you asked about the stamps, Jack?
I immediately regretted it.
Same.
Okay, so my bad week is it's not that bad, but I'm leaving today to Vietnam, which is so exciting. I have a big interview over there, and then I'm staying for vacation with Chris. And I was influenced by the LadyGang community after our conversation about smut reading. And there's a whole thread going on about everyone talking. First of all, the shame. They couldn't believe the two of you didn't know what smut was.
I mean, I'm not a reader.
Okay. And anyway, they were like, how do they not know smut? I was like, no, it's just us book girls.
Smut just sounds like such a bad word. Like it sounds like
I know, I don't like it.
I don't either.
Anyway, so there was this whole thing, and then everyone's like, hey, I'm trying to like put some hop in my sex life in 2024.
Some sparks.
What's pep in your step?
What smut are you guys reading? And then I didn't realize the ends of the earth that our girl goes to for an erotic fic. And I have so many ideas about this. But anyway, so I asked people, I was looking at who was the best, and there's a series allegedly that people were like, this is the most amazing thing. So then I got all 3 books. I'm taking them to Vietnam with me. I'm going to read
Is it the fairy porn?
No. No, and the one that the other girl was like, you should get this, and it was about a door. It was called Unhinged, and it was about a woman who like a door handle, and I was like, I can't do this. It was like
stop,
so weird. Yes.
Wait, now I'm interested. This is bizarre.
Look it up. It's called Unhinged. And it was like, we weren't sure if it was a door or a man. Like it was just, I don't know. It was so weird. Anyway, so I got these 3 books and I thought to warm myself up, I would try a Colleen Hoover on my Kindle the week Chris is gone. So I was like, let me just, get in the mood for a rom-com-y sex book. I hate Colleen Hoover, you guys. I can't get into it. It's like these 2 18-year-olds and it's all sex and she's touching, which is so weird, right? Why?
I don't like that.
They meet up once a year. They meet and then they meet up once a year for 5 years because she can't be in a real relationship. She's 23, but it's all sex and all like he's rubbing his manhood into my, and I don't know. And so now I'm so worried because this is my big vacation of the year. And I love to read on the beach. I'm bringing my Kindle as backup. I may throw the smut in the trash. I will report back. But like, what if I get there and I only have 3 shitty smut books?
What are the books you got? What are they called? The ones that you got?
It's called, there's 3. It's the Ravenhood collection, Flock, Exodus, and The Finish Line. Hold on. Let me look up Unhinged and just read you the synopsis just so you guys can like really.
That's what I'm more interested in.
Book. Hold on. Book. Unhinged, an erotic door romance. It has 4,000 reviews on Amazon. It is $8.99, has a 3.1 on Goodreads. Okay.
That's not that good.
Danger's coming, a knocking. Someone's been watching Tanya closely, but he's a lot closer than she realizes. From intimate moments to lazy afternoons on the couch, he's secretly seen it all and fallen for her along the way. The problem is that someone else is watching too, and his obsession with Tanya is a lot more dangerous. When a man claiming to be her front door enters her dreams to warn her about an imminent threat to her life.
Okay, I'm good. I'm all set. You're welcome, listeners.
How are there 4,000 people that read
hold on, can I just
door porn and were like, yes?
It's a paranormal romance story.
No.
That involves a woman getting it on with her front door, which later turns into a guy.
I hate this
so
much.
I have like logistical questions, but I'll keep them to myself.
I'm going to send it to you. I wish you would read it and please give us.
I'm not going to. I like weird shit. That's too weird for me.
Wait. And there's a quote. If I hadn't already been made of wood, I'd be stiff as a board at the sight.
Oh God, kill me.
What?
This is upsetting. This is like the guy on that show, like Strange Addiction, where he like makes love to his car.
Or like a balloon.
Yes, weird.
Anyway, I'm so excited because Symone is here from Drag Race, one of my favorite drag queens of all time, and I know that I have Drag Race fans in the LadyGang, and I'm so excited to talk to her, and she was so fun. So enjoy the episode, and I'll keep you posted on the smut.
Unhinged.
Unhinged.
Now back to the LadyGang.
Our guest today is one of the greatest who has ever done it. The New York Times called her a love letter to blackness and queerness. She's an American drag superstar and a prominent figure in the entertainment world. She gained significant recognition and popularity for her appearance on the 13th season of the reality TV competition RuPaul's Drag Race, which she won. Ooh. She's known for her distinctive style, charisma, and memorable performance on the show. She's also known for that body, but I am not the only super fan of this queen. Riri herself DM'd to share her support. She slayed the carpet at the Emmys, MTV Awards, and the frickin' Met Gala, and brought down the house with her appearance on the Savage X Fenty show. She's been featured in Vogue, nominated for a People's Choice Award. She's got a brand new television series, Avalon TV, which she stars in, featuring the House of Avalon. And I just want to say, you guys, I practice this so hard. Welcome to the LadyGang, Symone.
Oh my God!
I flicked my RuPaul fan.
She's got a RuPaul fan.
I'm obsessed. I have to tell you, that is maybe one of the best intros I've ever heard in my entire life. So
we'll send it to your team. They can use it for your new bio.
Please send that over.
You are such a revelation and so incredible, but as we know in Hollywood, you never feel that way. So do you feel like, okay, I made it, I'm like a superstar, or do you feel like, what am I going to do today? Ugh.
You know what? Sometimes I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, girl, you are the one. And then sometimes I'm like, oh God, girl, what get a grip? What's going on? I go back and forth. But you know what? More these days, I'm very much waking up being like, okay, superstar, what are we doing?
Yes.
Hell yes.
Yes.
I'm definitely waking up more in that lane.
Well, if you're ever down, I just want you to go and do like a walk down memory lane. I don't think I've ever seen somebody walk a carpet and work a carpet the way that you do. I could look at pictures of you on a carpet all damn day.
You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to get me a video montage of that. Like, you know what? When you forget who you are, put on the montage, mama.
There she is.
So I want to start with the Rihanna of it all.
Yes.
Like, where were you? When were you? How did you know it was real? And how does that work?
This happened. This was actually, we were going to film, do the pictures and the video for my beads look. And we were going to the desert. That was real, girls, not Photoshop. And it was like 4 or 5 morning. The sun has not risen. It is cold. It's chilly. In the car, face, wig on. And I just get on Instagram, you know, happy-go-lucky me. And I look at my DMs. And it says Bad Girl Riri. And I'm like, this is not real. Like, you know, is there an extra I? Is there an extra G?
It's not a fan account.
Sometimes you get a check mark. And
never
it's just a fan account. So I go and look, and it's her, and I'm freaking out. And so I read the message, and she basically tells me that, like, you know, congratulations, and I love you, and to keep going, and to specifically never take your foot off their neck.
Yes.
And which I hold dear to my heart, but it was crazy because I have such a love for her still, and it's only grown from that moment. And she was so influential in like my package and how I looked and how I approached drag. So like to get that from like someone I love and adore and admire, like, was insane to me. And like, and to get it right before going into a shoot and doing like a photo shoot and the video for one of the looks was just incredible, you know? And it like really made me feel like I was on the right path. Cause that was like maybe 4 or 5 weeks in, and we'd already filmed, and like it was coming out, of course. And so like, I don't know, you just have this feeling of like, who's watching? Like, what are people saying? And so to get it from like someone who was so major was just like kind of all I needed. Other than, of course, other than RuPaul giving me like $100,000, you know, it's like really, literally the next best thing, you know? So it was very, very affirming.
That's amazing.
If I need to do I want to jump in and do like a drag for dummies, and I mean that with love, like, you know, there's like driving a car for dummies, those yellow books that you get at the bookstore. Yes, for people who do not have never watched, have no idea, you know, can you explain how the house works? Because your new show is based on the house. Yes. And when you watch Drag Race, people are like, oh, that's my drag mom, or like, we came from the same house. Can you like give us a drag 101 how that all works?
For sure. So like house culture, it comes from ballroom, which if you don't know, that's a whole nother sector of the gay community. But our house specifically, we're not part of ballroom culture, which, you know, is like the voguing and the different categories and such like that. But it definitely comes from that. And I would say we're a collective of artists. Each one of us have our own, like mine is drag, and Marco, he's very good at, you know, we were discussing the nuggets earlier. Mm-hmm. He's very crafty, such a brilliant, imaginative. Grant is pop culture savant, another great artist. Hunter, he does photography, editing online, the technical, the managerial skills, so to speak. Caleb, he's very good videographer. And that's the 5 main of us. And then, of course, Gigi and Riley are also other drag artists. With me, and Gigi was also on the show. So, and Riley is now, she's a pop star, a pop star of sorts. That's how I see her. Mm-hmm. It's basically all of us are a collective of artists, and we have this vision of, you know, we love pop culture. And we all kind of came together on that love of pop culture and our love of drag, our love of, art and fashion and all those things. And we all meld that together to create this show, which we call Avalon TV. Hey, on Wow Presents Plus. And it's really a love letter to television. We love television. We exploited television, and we put in our favorite things that we love about it. So I do my talk shows called On Tonight with Symone, and I interview a few guests. And Riley does Riley on the Street, where she goes out and she asks people random questions and random crazy questions to see how they react. We have some skits in there. We have a segment called Drag Ass, which is kind of, our parody of Jackass. And it's just like a combination of everything that we love about television, everything that kept us sane. Because all 5 of us are from Arkansas, but all of us are from small towns. And so it's it was what kept us going, how we, communicated with the world, So it's kind of our way of giving back to it and being crazy.
Congratulations. It's huge to get a show made. It's huge to get a show made.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And to harness that much creativity and have it you are filled with so much creativity and so is everyone in the house. And to not have that tampered down by the time it becomes the show is the biggest hurdle sometimes. And the fact that you have been able to keep that in there and the essence of who you all are as creative geniuses. It's so amazing.
And that was really important to us. We really wanted it to be authentic to us. We didn't want anything to feel fake, because we're not us. And we wanted everyone to feel like when you're watching us because there are some real life moments as well. We wanted everyone to feel like, hey, those are our friends. We're going to watch our friends on TV right now. We want to be immersed in our world. We didn't want it to feel disconnected at all. So
I want to talk to my friend Symone about going to the Met Gala. Discuss what I really want to know. Okay, so here's all my questions.
Okay.
So first of all, you get the invite. Is it a paper invite? Is it an evite? Does your team reach out and say, Anna, can you come? Can Symone come? How did that work?
So I went with Moschino, and Jeremy Scott was creative director at the time. Shout out to Jeremy Hager. And he invited me to his studio, which is in Hollywood. I had no idea. I was like, okay, why is Jeremy asking me? I'm thinking maybe he's asking me to be part of a campaign or something. I don't know. So I go and he sits me down and he's like, so I just wanted to formally invite you to the Met Gala. And I was like, are you serious? I was on the verge of tears because I didn't expect it. I did not expect it. I was like, it's crazy because when I was on the show, I was like, there's 2 things I want to do. I want to go to the Met Gala and I want to do the Savage Fenty show. And I had no idea how any of it was going to happen.
Whoa.
For him to ask me, because he'd known about us since we lived in Arkansas. So this was kind of a full circle moment. So he asked me to go with him. And of course I jumped on the opportunity. And how it works is they, how designers get a table and they get to invite, of course, with Anna's approval. So Anna knew I was coming, darling.
She approved you.
Yeah, she approved of me. And so they invite who they want to invite as part of their table. And I was like, okay, so how does this work? Do I design? I give to you? Do you design? You give to me? How does this work? He said, well, I'll design a look for you. And of course, I want you to feel like yourself. So I will, of course, want your input. But I'm going to design a look and I'm going to send it over. A couple weeks go by and we go back to the office and he shows me the sketch and I die. I die. Because it's so me. It was it was a hyper glamorized sleek version of me, but through the Moschino lens, like through Jeremy's eyes. And I was just enamored. And it was literally that dress that you saw, it was a 20-pound dress.
Oh,
by the way. So I'm holding
it. Looks heavy.
I still have it. But, so like to pick it up, it took like at least two people to put me in the dress, because there's also a corset built into the dress. So to put it on and then to corset the dress and then to zip up the dress, it took like two people to put me in it. But it was a dream come true. One of the best days.
Did you discuss that at your high school reunion that you just went to?
I know, we got to talk about the high school reunion.
Did you wear it to the high school reunion?
Oh, I didn't wear it to the high school reunion. No, that's not magical wear. But they did not ask me about that, but they did ask me about Rihanna.
Of course.
Rihanna and T.S. Madison. I got those the most.
Yes, understandable.
You're listening to the LadyGang.
So before we started recording, we were discussing that you just went to your 10-year high school reunion in Arkansas.
I did.
And I was just thinking, obviously it was as if like the queen rolled in and I'm sure the seas parted and they were like, but what was high school like for you? I'm just so curious of like, what was the last time you walked into those, was in that school, what was that experience like? And versus now, obviously you're dominating.
High school for me was interesting in the sense that, I think most of my bullying was definitely middle school. Middle school was the worst, specifically 8th grade. But by the time I got to high school, the bullying definitely didn't go away by any means. But I felt like people were not necessarily okay with it, but people at that point didn't care. But I think I had much more of an issue. Like high school for me was like a very hard time because I had a hard time being myself and being okay with being gay. And so like when I discovered drag, that was kind of my gateway into like owning myself and to be much more okay with myself. And because I started drag when I was 16 years old, and that was like season like 8 or 9 of Drag Race. So like I got a job and I'd like saved all my money up and I like bought makeup here and there and I was like practicing. And I would post, and when I felt comfortable enough to be like, okay, I'm pretty. And people can, I would post on Instagram. And so it really helped my confidence wise. I think high school was more difficult internally for me. And drag really helped me come out of that and be much more myself. So by the end of high school, I didn't really care what anyone thought, because I kind of by that point had built a gay community outside of it, because I started performing when I was 18 years old. So like as soon as I could. So by the time I graduated, I was like, see ya. I'm like, I know this is what I want to do. Like, I didn't know exactly how I was going to get here, but I knew that like drag was my vehicle. I knew drag was my way out. So and I say it all the time, like drag truly saved my life. Like it saved me. It saved that little kid. It gave me something to look forward to past like living in Coleman, Arkansas, because I knew I'd never live there the rest of my life. I knew after high school, like I was getting out of Arkansas. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but I knew I was getting out. And I think once I did drag and I performed and I felt what it was like to be on stage, I was like, okay, that's it. That's how I'm getting out of here, Go back years later, I think I felt a sense, I say all of that to say I felt very proud of myself and I could believe, but just like to actually go back and feel what it felt like to be on the other side of like not necessarily fulfilling my dream, but like really going for it. And like, I did it, I got out and I did it and I did what I said I was going to do. And like people said that, they were like, I'm so proud of you because I remember you saying it and I remember you doing drag and going to prom and you did it and we're proud of you and like, congratulations. So it felt great. You know,
it's like such a full circle moment for you.
It is. It really is. And like, I don't know. It just made me like really proud of myself for doing it. You know, it was not an easy road, and I went through a lot of speed bumps, but I did it, man. I did it. I did it. Can we have?
Tell me, you know what? I think it's also like people will forget that. They'll be like, oh yeah, I went, you know, and they're excited for you, but it's those mile markers for yourself where like, you're like, oh wow. Cause you get caught up in everything that you're doing and what's next and have to keep the hamster wheel rolling. And it's nice to like go back and be like, oh wow. Like it's been 10 years and like, look at what I've accomplished, and you like can take like stock or like inventory on that.
And I think I needed that because, like, sometimes, you know, like you were saying, you're like, keep it going. What's next? What am I doing? You know, and you forget how far you've come. And like in 10 years, like, so I've done a lot in 10 years. And, you know, some people didn't. And some people told me this. They were like, it was so great to see you get out and do you, because that gave me permission to do it, you know, how many ever years later, you know, it's like, sometimes you forget like it doesn't happen for everybody, you know, and some people don't go for it, or it doesn't happen for them, or it hasn't happened for them yet. So like, you know, it was good to go back and like really feel that and be like, wow, like you're a rare one, you know?
Yeah. You're
like,
a rare one.
You're a rare one, Mom.
That. Okay, I have two more questions. Back to Met Gala. I'm so sorry to do this. I have covered the Met Gala. I've stood on those stairs as a journalist for so many years, and I don't know what's past the fucking doors. So I'm dying to know, when you finish being epic on the carpet, both sides, all the way up, like, then what happens? Because people are like, it's an exhibition, and then you go for a dinner, and then Madonna comes out. Like, what was that? What was the second half like? And were you like, I wish I could change into my sweatpants at some point and like,
you know, not sweatpants, but I wish, because the headdress was so heavy and I like pressing down, I wish I'd worn a different shoe. By the end of it, I was definitely crawling out.
And you don't take your shoes off like you're at a wedding in Florida at the Met Gala. Like, you're not walking out. No.
Imagine barefoot in the Met. Imagine.
No, ma'am. I don't even take my shoes off at weddings. I am offended when I see someone in a flip flop at a wedding.
No, gross. In a flip flop. Gross. I hate
you know, when they bring like a pair of shoes to change into, I mean, like, at least bring something classy.
You know, not as flip flop.
A flip flop, like a Javiana flip flop.
Nobody needs offended. A flip flop.
Offended, mama. But answer your question. So we go in, and it's a cocktail hour. So it's like all the celebrities and the upper echelon are in this. It's not it's like a gallery, I guess. And you know, it's a champagne hour. So you in with your people, and then you talk to whoever else is invited for like an hour. And then you make the journey to the hall where the dinner is being served. And you find your table, you sit, and there's like, I think for us, it was like 3 courses. It was like a salad, and then like an appetizer, and then the actual meal. You sit and you eat, you talk. I was sitting next to Taraji P. Henson, who I love and adore. Such a fan of Baby Boy. That was like a staple. That's like a staple Black film. And Empire, Cookie. So
of course.
I was upset, like, I couldn't believe. And we were sitting chatting, and she was just telling me about like her journey and like how she'd gone through everything, and like we were talking about her being vegan and like her weight loss and like all that kind of stuff. And then on the other side of me was what is his name? Daly.
Tom Daly.
So sweet.
The Olympic diver who loves to knit.
Yes, who loves it. Yes, and we were just talking about that and his kids and his husband and all those things. And actually, fun fact about him, I love him. Shout out to you. Hey, Tom. I was looking, and Whoopi was at this one as well. And I love Whoopi. I watch The View every day. Sister Act, all of it.
Did you see Sister Act 3 is coming?
I did see that. I did. I was like...
Big news.
Finally, because, you know, they were like, oh, no one's going to watch that. Like, no one, there's not a thirst for it. And I was like,
Wrong.
do y'all realize how many times people have watched the first 2? I didn't this one specifically. I didn't even know there was a first one. Didn't know for years.
Sister Act 2 is definitely the best.
Oh, yeah. And that is rare to say. The sequel is usually not the one. But it's for that. But
so Whoopi's there.
And so Tom was sitting next to me. I was like, I'm convulsing because like I want to go meet her. It was like, what do I do? And he's like, oh, I've met her. I'm good friends with her. Do you want to go meet her? I'll go introduce her to you. And I was like, would you really? He's like, yes. And so he walks me over, such a gentleman. Mm-hmm. And I go over and I say, you know what? I just wanted to say that I love you so much and thank you so much for everything you've done. I watched this direct 5,000 times. And she was so sweet. She was like, thank you. Thank you so much. I would get up, but this dress is too heavy.
You're like, I get it.
Like,
Love
okay,
her.
I want to say that to you. And she's like, thank you so much. You look beautiful tonight. And I was like, I appreciate it. And then that's all I need in that moment. We went back to the table, but it was truly a magical night. Just to be in that room, you know, and to have done it the year I won, you know, it's crazy because it's a room full of like the A-list celebrities and people with millions, gajillions of dollars. So it's like to be in the room and like sit there and look around and be like, I did this, you know, I made this happen. I manifested this moment. It's a power that you don't feel all the time. A power, like a confidence you don't feel, you know? Oh, yeah. And it kind of helps you move on and move forward in your career and be like, wow, I am that bitch, you know?
You are that bitch.
Really,
you are that bitch.
It's a really humbling moment.
And so my last question is early on in LadyGang, I think you guys were talking about this when I was off. We had Rue on. And
Mother.
I mean, it was
one of the best
incredible.
episodes we've ever had.
Still in
7
8 years.
Mm-hmm.
She is a true revelation. She's a gem, like a prophet on earth, goddess.
Prophet,
yeah,
very much a prophet.
She gave us so many like Ruisms and wisdoms, and we use them still to this day. Where we're like, if that bitch ain't paying your bills, pay them no mind. Like
no mind. That's
our mantra.
I want to know, as our last thing for LadyGang, like what's the best thing you learned from Rue, and like, is there a piece of advice that you got that you take with you that has made you so successful because of her?
Absolutely. Well, even before the show, it was that quote: and the bitches ain't paying your bill, pay them bitches no mind. Because I was a very self-conscious kid and a very like shy kid, so that was really, really, really monumental. But from the show, it was at the TikTok lunch, and the interview that you do with the top four, and I was sitting there, and she said to me, the power that you have in drag is the same power you have out of drag. Ooh. And that blew my mind because I never thought of it that way. Because I always thought of Symone, not necessarily as a different character, but kind of, for lack of a better term, like a different person. You know, like it was kind of like a...
Like alter ego?
Yeah. Yeah. Like me, but like to the nth degree, but like still like an alter ego. So when she said that to me, like, it was like turning the lights on for the first time, you know, like let there be light, you know?
Yeah.
Because I just never thought of it that way. You know, I thought of it like, oh, when you're in drag, you're this person. When you're out of drag, you're just, you know, Reggie. You know, you don't have all that. But like, she's basically saying you are the same person when you're in drag. You're the same person in drag as you are out of drag.
And Rue totally is. That's what I think is what's so powerful is you're like, the drag is incredible and beautiful, but then it's like out of drag, it's you're as like, I'm as taken aback by
as captivated.
Yes. By the energy.
And it's like, it's something, some people have it naturally, but for me, it's something that I had to work toward to like, because like I said, drag gave me confidence. So I think I had to take Symone with me in my life, you know, and like use that, especially after the show, like navigating everything and like being in specific rooms and stuff like that. And like advocating for myself and like asking for what I wanted, like, and not being afraid of that. You know, like using that power of drag in my everyday life. You know, usually it's the other way around for people, but like for me, I had to take that power from drag and use it in my everyday life. So that, I think that's been the biggest biggest piece of advice. And another one she gave in that same lunch, she said to me, you know how in Inception, like there was like always the totem that the person had, like to for them. She said, when you ever forget whatever it is, whatever your totem is, find what that is to remind you like of who you are. That those were the two big advices, and I carry them with me to this day.
Wow.
Yeah. That's so much. Well, if you are like the rest of the world and the season ended too quickly and you need more Symone in your life, you're very lucky because every Monday on Wow Presents Plus, you can watch Avalon TV and watch all the ridiculousness and fabulousness. But if that's not enough for you, you can even go on to Instagram and follow _Symone. Not just Symone, _Symone. Join her over 1 million other fans and followers and get all the content. And we're so happy for you. This is like such a dream. You are such inspiration. And I feel like you're just getting started. So thank you for being here. And we will, let me get my fan out. See you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening. The Lady Gang is produced by Alex Ingber, Steve Delameter, and Jared Monaco. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. And if you love it, share it with your friends on social media. Like, oh my God, I just listened to Lady Gang. This episode's so great. Swipe up to listen. And if you really want to, which we know you do, please follow us on social. At Keltie, at Becca, at jacvanek, and at The Lady Gang. Sign up for our newsletter at theladygang.com and join our secret Facebook group. It's super fun. See you next Tuesday.